You got the audio on, Mike?
Reinier, over here.
Let me turn this.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
Before we get into your fight, how was the Canucks game the other day? We saw you there on the big screen. Did you? It was your first hockey game, is my understanding.
Yeah, it was very cool. I like how you guys here and in the States, you really make a show out of everything. It's very cool to be there. I like the violence a little bit. I didn't really care too much about the pucks being scored, but I like the checks and stuff. We didn't get a real fight, unfortunately, but was nice. Was nice to see.
So as far as this main event goes, it was supposed to be Anthony Hernandez, and then when he was out, there was some talk about Paulo Costa. How close was that fight to being made, in your opinion?
It was close. If he'd said yes, then we would be fighting now.
Okay, so you believe that he turned down the fight?
He came back with like I wanted to be 3 rounds. I wanted to be a catchweight, and we said okay, we'll move on. This is.
Yeah. Did that surprise you at all? That he was.
I'd imagine him to be chomping at the bit to fight me, but no.
Yeah, and was it just Paulo and Brendan as far as opponents, or was there anyone else name that you heard of?
Yeah, we kind of basically just went down the list from whoever was available and came off a win. And the first one to say yes was Brandon, so I was very happy that he did.
And then Brendan was in here already. I guess you guys trained very briefly, maybe once, a while ago. Like, you must have been pretty familiar with Brendan before taking this fight.
Yeah, he has a lot of experience. I've seen all of his fights, of course, and I know a lot about him, but I don't really know him as a person. We've never really trained together.
Yeah. Who did you get to work with as far as training partners for this fight?
A lot of good guys at Killcliff, like endless good guys there. Was able to work with Robbie a lot. Robbie Lawler was very interesting because of the tips he gave me as a fellow southpaw. It's very, very good stuff. I've been doing a lot of rolling at Wagner Hochschuss, which was very cool as well. Got to train with him a lot, with his son. With Bushesha, did a lot of rounds with him. So, was good, cool.
Were there any training partners at Killcliff that didn't want to work with you, maybe out of friendship to Brendan, or you didn't run into that issue?
Nah, not really. Everybody hates the guy, so I don't know.
Why do you think they don't like him?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, gotcha.
It was, of course, like a little bit of a joke. In the beginning, when I took the fight, I said he might be here in a couple days joining us. But, I think everybody's professional. Everybody wanted to work with me. No issues. Only Henry stayed neutral and didn't want to come and coach this time, but the rest was all good.
The implications for this fight are pretty big. Do you think it's a positive sign that they haven't announced that Imovov's getting the shot and that they're going to wait to see what happens with this fight?
Yeah, Imovov's not getting the shot, so that's why they didn't announce it.
Fair enough. And then one other thing, kind of looking at the champ right now with Chimaev and how dominant he was. Not looking past Brendan, I'm the guy asking the question, but I'm sure you look at a fight with you and Chimaev. Just how do you feel like stylistically you match up against him? Yeah,
it'd be a very cool fight. I imagine very spectacular grappling exchanges, and his striking, we haven't seen it a lot in the UFC, but his striking is pretty cool too. He's decent boxing. He's been working with a boxing coach for a very long time, Olympic boxer. And the times we trained, I thought his boxing was very crisp as well. Be an amazing matchup. I think I have a lot to offer in that fight, in the grappling and in the striking. So hope we see it soon.
And just last one for me, were you surprised that Duplessis struggled so much with the takedowns, or does that speak more to just how great Chimaev is at his grappling?
Both, I think. It really surprised me. I didn't expect it to go this way at all. But if you look at Dricus' posture, he's always a bit bent, and that makes it a lot harder to get into a sprawl and defend well in takedown. So it makes sense there. But the most surprising thing for me was the amount of control that Khamzat had on the floor. It was crazy. I did not expect him to be that dominant at all.
Reinier right here.
Yeah.
It is mixed martial arts, but that having been said, you guys both have your black belts. Is this an area that you'd want to test Brendan in?
100%. I'm always going to see if I can choke a guy. Yeah.
Good stuff. And, We saw Ong La retire recently. And
Yeah,
he was a
so
big part
cool.
of your early career. And Brendan actually mentioned him as a reason why he's always wanted to fight you. He says he wants to avenge that loss. So, just if you can, just speak to like how big a part of your career was that kind of Ong La rivalry?
Yeah, it was a big part of my career at the time. And it eventually led to me getting in contact with Henry and with the guys over at Killcliff. So it kind of put me in the place I'm training at now as well. It was the first time I really achieved something big in martial arts, you know what I mean? Getting the belt for the first time over there, and then getting the second belt as well. The first fight was very much what I imagined it to be as well, getting his back, choking him out in the first round. And nowadays, he's one of the main guys I work with. He's a very good coach, and it was very, very heartwarming to see him in his retirement fight. I don't think it's really his retirement fight, but to see him go out like that was amazing. To be honest, I was a bit worried when the fight got announced and when he was going into the fight. I think he trained like for the fight for like 3 weeks or whatever. It was very late that it came together, but it was so cool to see him like that, man. It was very cool.
And you mentioned retirements might not stick in MMA, of course, but we do see a lot of people as they get closer to their 40s or in their 40s in this sport, they wind up on the downside and they wind up retiring. Of course, it's just father time, but you're not the youngest yourself, and yet you seem
Don't tell anybody.
You seem to have a lot left in the tank. I mean, what do you attribute your success at this point of the game to?
One championship saved me by not giving me fights. Thank you, one championship.
One over here, Reinier.
Yeah.
Brendan Allen was here earlier today, and we were talking about your previous UFC fights, and he sort of discredited a lot of them. Robert Whittaker was old. Bo Nickel was too young in his career. Kevin Holland's over the hill. How do you feel when you hear people trying to discredit the quality of wins that you have in the UFC?
How do Rob Whittaker and Kevin Holland feel if he's disrespectful to him?
Not good, I imagine. You should take it up with them.
Yeah, he should take it up with them.
Hello? Okay. Hey, Reinier. How's it
Yeah,
going?
what's up?
So the fight was originally meant to be you versus Fluffy Hernandez.
Yeah.
How do you feel, I guess, the different skill sets between Alan and Fluffy, given they're both grapplers? What do you see as the main difference as two different opponents?
Yeah, so was of course heartbreaking that the fight fell through, that he got hurt, because I was very excited for the fight, and it would be a great dress rehearsal for Hamzat, I think Fluffy would have been. But I do hope and I do imagine that we get to rebook that fight soon enough. Like style-wise, they're kind of similar. Both of them box pretty well. Like in boxing range, they strike pretty well. I think Fluffy wrestles a bit better. Brandon's jiu-jitsu is a bit better, I think. They had a very close fight as well. I think the biggest difference is, and that's what showed in their fight as well, Brandon starts very well. His first round is always his best round, and then he tends to fade a little bit. And Fluffy starts a little slow, and he tends to build when the fight goes longer. So when it was still Fluffy, I was very focused on getting my cardio in and focused on that part of the fight. So there was a good base for this camp. And then when opponents changed, I was able to spend some more time on specific techniques for Brendan and recovery as a whole. So to be ready as I am for this fight.
Okay. And how, I guess, do you see the fight going on Saturday? Do you see it more staying on the feet? Neither of you wanting to go to the floor? You mentioned Brendan has excellent jiu-jitsu.
Excellent is a big word, but I definitely want to see if I can get him to the floor as quickly as possible. I'm going to see if I can put a lot of pressure on him. He's going to come out guns blazing, I imagine, because he always does. I think he throws very nice boxing combinations in the pocket, in boxing range, and I think maybe he might even shoot, but I think I'll be first to take him down.
Okay. Are we going to see those Dutch kickboxing knees again on Saturday night?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Also, so you seem very confident when you said Imavov is not getting the shot. Do you know something we don't, or are you just very confident you're going to do what you need to do on Saturday night to make sure you are undeniable for Khamzat's next opponent?
Both.
Okay. Just a couple more. You mentioned in an interview recently that DDP needs to improve his jiu-jitsu on the bottom. Is that something you feel that you're more equipped to deal with than him? You think your counter wrestling's better than him? Were you to face Khamzat, let's say sometime next year, if you win on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think so. Most importantly, Khamzat didn't get tired at all because he got the takedown, exploded for a couple seconds, got on top, and then was able to rest afterwards. So I think anybody who's going to beat Khamzat should be able to stop his takedowns at least for a while, so make him work harder to get a takedown. And then anybody who's going to beat Khamzat should have a very good guard so that he's not able to rest the moment they get to the floor or the moment he gets chest to back control. The guy who's going to beat him needs to be able to work there and needs to make him tired.
And just last question. After your win against Bo Nickel early this year, you called out Sean Strickland. Obviously, Sean is suspended until the end of November. Do you still see that fight as on the horizon at some point?
Yeah, it'd be very cool. Yeah, he had some personal issues going on, I believe, which prevented the fight. But yeah, I definitely see that fight happening someday soon.
Thanks, Reinier.
Reinier, over here.
Yeah.
I want to put you on the spot a little bit, man. You mentioned the Dutch kickboxing there. Who would you say is the Dutch combat sports GOAT? You're making a case, you're getting up there, but right now, who would you say is the guy?
We have so many great champions through the years. Bas Rutten. But one of the guys I like a lot, I like his style a lot, and I've worked with a lot, is Gegard Mousasi. I love, if you look back at some of the fights he's had, they've been so good, so cool. It's just a shame that he didn't stick around long enough to get to the UFC title, because I think he would have. Yeah.
And would he be an inspiration for you or some other guys maybe that come to mind specifically?
More names, more other guys?
Yeah.
Yesterday I said Stefan Struve because he was in the room, but Alistair is one of those. You know, if you think back of Alistair versus what's the wrestler's name again?
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. That's the craziest fight ever, man. Just roided to the tits, both of them. So cool. With that knee as well. Yeah, we have so many good guys. Even before, like in K1 back in the day, Sam Schild. The list is almost endless. So yeah, I'm very proud to be representing my country. I'm not switching to Canada this time. Yeah, hopefully I'll be part of a new wave as well, because at the moment I'm the only Dutch guy in the UFC. Yusri is joining us, and I hope we'll have a lot more of those Dutch guys coming in soon.
Well, last one on that note. What do you think you need to do to be the number one, surpass everybody we just mentioned?
Get a belt.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep adding.
Yep.
Just a quick one from me. You said that you're not into ice hockey. Recently, you told me that you don't care about football at all. I mean, soccer.
Yeah.
So is there any sport you care about in the terms of watching and enjoying?
No, I've watched some documentaries on American football on Netflix before the last fight. That was cool. It looks cool. It's very violent, and with the documentary, there was not a lot of breaks, which is nice. So you can just see the action, and I learned a little bit about what the quarterback does and stuff. That was pretty cool. But if you love fighting, nothing compares, right? Even there, sitting at the NHL game, I don't care if the puck goes in the net. I want to see these guys fight. That's way cooler, right? It's way cooler than anything else. It's always, even I like basketball. I like all this stuff to watch, but it doesn't really get close to fighting anytime, I think.
It's a job anyway.
Hmm?
Fighting is a job anyway. Yeah.
A job? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Got it? Yeah. You got it, Mike?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Brendan, over here. So take me through how you got this fight. We found out, obviously, Anthony Hernandez had to withdraw. Like, was it just, one phone call that it came together? Like, sort of tell us how you ended up getting this fight.
No, it wasn't one phone call for sure. It was like three. So they called like on a Tuesday and said like Fluffy was out and that we were going to put my name in the box. Thursday comes and they said, well, they're still talking to Paulo, but it's starting to favor myself. By Sunday night, they said it was 100% me. Monday morning, drive to Chicago. So it was kind of like a little bit of a waiting period, like waiting to see, a lot of uncertainty. But it is what it is. It would have been nice if they would have just gave it to me on the Tuesday and went straight to camp, but it's all right.
Yeah, that's good. And obviously, training in Chicago. I know, De Ridder obviously trained at Killcliff as well. You guys had never trained together, though, right? Was my understanding, or had you guys trained?
No, just one little brief drill that was like almost like I can't remember the exact position, but it was like if the guy on bottom gets out, then the next guy comes and there's a line and there's like 8 people on the ground like waiting to go. It was just jiu-jitsu day. So just a minute and like probably 10 seconds of that. That's it.
And I know you guys are different fighters, but Gerald Meerschaert is at your camp. He fought De Ridder as well, game plan for him. Like, how much of an asset has that been in camp? Because he's already prepped for the guy.
Yeah, it helps, but again, the styles are different. He's a southpaw. He's felt De Ridder like in the fight and knows how awkward and how everything is. So that helps hearing his input. But again, yeah, like you said, I'm a lot different than Gerald. But Gerald gave him probably his hardest fight, and I'm gonna give him an even harder one.
Yeah. Who else did you get to work with this camp?
Always the best welterweight in the world, Bilal Muhammad. We got like my team that's here right now. We got my boy Max, Horacio, brought Tuco from Florida, Charlie, Ignacio, Nacho, however y'all look at him.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You're good.
His little brother, worked with him as well. Yeah, man, there's been guys that just come to help for sure. Gerald, obviously. Yeah, so we're prepared.
What have you made of RDR's run so far in the UFC? Coming over from one championship, hasn't lost yet. Like, what have you made of? What's your assessment of him in the UFC?
I mean, it doesn't impress me. Like, maybe I'm hard to impress, but there's not one fight or one moment where you're like, oh man, like this guy's like crazy or he's something special. Like, he's tough, he's durable, his jiu-jitsu's not bad. But really, what else is there, to be honest? Like, I don't know, maybe you see something different than me, but I haven't seen anything where I'm just like, oh man, like he's something special. He's got that it. Maybe he has something that needs to be a little bit more pop. Like, it doesn't stand out to me. But hey, he's getting wins, good for him.
Were you impressed with him? Well, it doesn't sound like it. You weren't impressed with his win over Bo Nickel, finishing him. I know, Nickel doesn't have a ton of experience MMA-wise, but what did you think of that victory?
I mean, Bo will probably be good one day, right? But he's so young and so green in his MMA career. He's a great wrestler, but we know this isn't wrestling. And, yeah, it doesn't impress me because he's so green. Maybe when he's get some more time, some more experience, and get to fully come into himself as an MMA fighter, it'll be different. But no, they just struck, and we know Bo's not a striker. I mean, De Ridder's not a striker either, but he has more experience. So, yeah, I wasn't really impressed by it, to be honest.
Okay, last one for me. Your grandparents, I believe, are from Canada, is my understanding. Where are they from? Like, give us a little bit of backstory as to why you're going to be sort of the honorary Canadian in this main event.
Yeah, so my grandparents were both born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. My grandma was raised in, like, the backwoods. Like, she rode a horse to school. Obviously, they've been gone for a little while. My grandfather gave up his citizenship to go into military in America. So, and he was in the Marine Corps for 36 years. But my grandma still has her citizenship, still files for her green card. However often that's supposed to go, I don't know. But yeah, she hasn't been back in a while because my grandfather's been sick for a long time. So, but yeah, it's just honor and pay homage to that side of my family.
Yeah, just a tip: don't cheer for the Oilers this week. People in Vancouver don't like them. That's the hockey team, the Edmonton Oilers. So.
Yeah, the how you pronounce it? The Canucks.
Canucks. There you
yeah.
go. There
Yes.
you go. Learn something every day. Thanks,
Yeah.
Brendan.
Hey, Brendan, right here. Just to follow up on that, you said it was like 3 phone calls for this to come together, but had you already been looking for a fight? Were you looking to get in, or was this just about the opportunity?
No, for sure. I was looking to fight like early November because how my kid's birthdays plays out and hunting season. I always try to fight before November to finish off the year. So I was pushing for like that November 1st, November 8th card. Worst case, MSG. But they, end of the year is kind of funny. They have guys that need fights that haven't fought enough or whatever the case may be. So it was getting to where it was like, oh, maybe December, oh, maybe January. And I was like, I can't fight January. Like, I have another baby that's going to be born around that time, and I don't want there to be any potential conflicts. So I was trying to get something on the books because normally when you book something, I don't know, you may have potentially 9, 10, 11 weeks, and then it allows me to ease into training, ease into the diet, and just kind of, I don't know, that's just how I approach it. But, yeah, I was trying.
And then I know you said you weren't impressed with RDR, but obviously the talk about this had been as almost like a title eliminator when it was with Fluffy. So was that a big part in factoring in, hey, this is the one I want?
Not really. For me, it's just like I've always wanted to fight the guy. And why I think it's a great matchup for me. It just comes down to that simple. I think it's a great matchup for me stylistically. And what better way to hit the top 5 than to beat him and beat him on a main event, back on the poster. It's just kind of putting me back where I planned to be honest with you. So that was the opportunity, and bigger the risk, bigger the reward.
When you say you always wanted to fight him, was it just a stylistic matchup, or?
Stylistic, yeah, and then like at the time with Killcliff when he fought Ung La from when they were in 1 and stuff like that. Ung La was my friend, and he would come over to, I would stay with Tuco, and he'd come over to his house, and we'd go to his house, and yeah, so it's just like kind of stems from that a little bit. Like I'm kind of like gang, like that's my friend, so that's my boy, and it just kind of, I kept the same energy. That's really it. I just kept the same energy. Now you come to here to UFC, and some of these guys have fast rises. They jump so quick in the rankings and so quick to the spotlight. But how long of them really last? How long? There's not too many. My career has never been fast and direct. So I've had to build myself back a couple times. I've had to revitalize myself. And he's about to have to learn that in this promotion after Saturday.
Ung La obviously retired recently, but one more completely unrelated to this. We have Khamzat Chimaev obviously as champion now, and as a guy who was getting close to that title picture before a couple of setbacks, and now you're trying to work your way back there. Any concern about the possible lack of activity that you might see in the division?
Man, I think there's a couple divisions. It's all over the place right now, and middleweight's one of them. Yeah, it's definitely a concern. It's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how fast he wants to turn around. He's a guy that's been very open and honest about injuries and setbacks with his health. And, it's definitely concerning. Hopefully we don't have to have an interim, or hopefully they don't even do an interim if it comes to that. Hopefully we just strip and he comes back and fights for it if that were to happen. But, I guess we'll see, huh?
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Brendan, what do you think of Khamzat calling out Alex Pereira and wanting to move up to 205 before he even has a title defense?
I think that's kind of like the story of Chimaev, right? Like, he just talks a lot. He gets a lot of eyes. Like, it's not to the degree, but it's like Conor talking just to stay relative. Obviously, like, Chimaev's not that bad, right? He doesn't say that much stuff and that much reckless stuff, but I don't know. I think he's got a lot of work to do in our division first. And it's not like he's a huge 85er that's cutting a lot like Alex was to get to 85 to where it's like, all right, I became a champion, I defended once, like let's just go up or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's weird, but I don't think that's in his future right now.
Do you think Nasruddin Imavov will send you a thank you note after Saturday? Because I feel like if you win this, you're probably clearing the way for him to get the shot for sure.
Man, I guess we'll see. I think the champion has a little bit of say of who he fights next. Not full say, obviously. The UFC is going to do what they want to do. They're the boss. But I think he has a little bit of pull. And if I go out there, because he was talking so much about the Ridder, wanted to test his grappling and stuff against the Ridder. If I go out there and beat him definitively, you never know. He could say my name, and the UFC could get it, but we'll see. I'm just more focused on Saturday. I don't care what happens with Imavov. I don't care what happens with Chimaev unless it's about me. Right now is Saturday, beating the Ridder, and doing it in impressive fashion.
And you mentioned earlier, like the ups and downs of the careers, the hard moments you've had. How much pressure do you feel to get this one, right? Like, do you feel like there's only a finite of these type of opportunities that are going to come your way?
Not necessarily. I'm only 29, so I've still got time, plenty of time. But I feel like right now is a good moment in my life, in my career. I feel like everything's set in place for me to make a real title run, put these guys away, or beat them in really good fashion, get a belt, defend it a couple of times, and then sail off into the sunset.
I know I heard you talking yesterday about the whole Kill Cliff side of it, Robbie Lawler, and like kind of taking that side in camp. Do you feel like you're fighting more than RDR in the situation a little bit? Like, is this going to be more gratifying to know that you overcame all of that side of it too?
No, not really. I mean, end of the day, none of those guys have to step in there and fight me. He does. He has to step in there and feel everything like 100% power, 100% speed. Like, you have to feel it in real time. Nobody else does. It is what it is, man. It's just a business. Sometimes it's very shitty. Sometimes it's demoralizing a bit or just kind of catches you off guard. But I've been around a long time, and I've seen it many times. So it is what it is, man. I'm just happy with where I'm at. I focus on myself. I have a great team around me. Guys that really care about me and as a person, not just if I'm going to win this fight or everything like that. So life is good, man. My family's healthy. I'm healthy. My friends healthy. We're all happy. They're having a good time in Vancouver. So, yeah, man, everything's good.
Hey, Brendan. Kind of going back to the beginning when you were saying, like, man, I haven't really seen too much out of RDR that really impresses me. I don't want to discredit his wins, but when you look at the strength of schedule, like, he got Kevin Holland at 85 when Kevin should be fighting at 70. He got a young Bo Nickel, and then he got Robert Whittaker like 24 fights into the UFC, right? So when you see that, do you think people are kind of getting an illusion there that he's actually more impressive than he is?
For sure. That's what I've been saying the whole time. It's not the Whittaker that fought like Yoel Romero or his come up where he was really at the top of his game. Bo Nickel, like you said, super green, super young in his career. Kevin Holland, I fought Kevin Holland when he was, coming off of Thiago Santos and my debut. So, he hasn't fought guys that are like young, hungry, guys that are even his size, guys that are, and most of the guys he fights, for the most part, are scared to go to the ground with him. So like they kind of act different. I think Whittaker was one of those guys, to be honest. By the time he found his timing and built the confidence that he could stuff the takedowns, he was already too tired. Like, for some reason, he was just too tired. I'm not that guy. I'm not scared to go to the ground with him. The thing with me is everything is on my time. I'm not on his time. But when we fight, everything's going to happen on my timeline, not on your timeline. So when I want to go to the ground, then we're going to go to the ground. If I don't want to go to the ground on your time, because he's probably going to shoot in it could be the first 10 seconds. It could be in the first minute. But before 2.5 minutes of the first round, he's going to shoot. I promise you he's going to shoot. And I'm going to stuff it, and I'm going to continue to beat him up and make him pay for it. But again, To answer your question, yes, I definitely think everyone's building this hype and this false sense of he's something that he isn't. He isn't this guy. He's not that guy. Like he hasn't had a guy put it on him for real. Like and him have to take it and withstand it. He's just not that guy. He's not that guy. He's not built like me. Like he's not built. He's just not built. We're not built the same.